All right, what's going on, everybody? Hope you've all been doing well. And I know the uploads have been kind of scarce lately, but I got a new job, as I previously said, which I am now well adjusted to. I've got a new stream schedule, and I've got plenty of videos lined up to bring to you guys over the next couple of weeks. But today, I just real quick wanted to go ahead and make a very fast video over Season 5 being released and what's hot and what's not. So let's go ahead and we'll get right into what is not hot this season. First up, we got a new field upgrade, and it is called Tesla Storm. Now, at first, I thought this seemed like a pretty interesting field upgrade, but after looking at it, upgrading it, and using it a little bit and seeing other people using it, it's clear that this thing is not hot. First of all, we kind of get scammed with tier 3 and tier 5, basically doing the same thing except for two different, quote, different types of enemies. The only thing really good out of it is that it does stun the zombies that are near you, especially the elites, so that'll include the Megatons and the Krasny Soldats, so that's okay, but you do get a 25% increased movement speed when you activate it, so that's not terrible, but I mean, in general, if you want to increase movement speed and be invulnerable, Aether Shroud's your man, and if you want all the other zombies to slow down and not affect you in any way and gain some benefit out of it, then Frenzied Guard is 100% better. So in my opinion, go ahead and upgrade it because you're going to have the crystals, but until somebody finds a real practical use for this, which I'm not seeing immediately, I wouldn't even recommend using this thing. Next up, we have a new Outbreak Map, which is really cool, and it is the first Outbreak Map that is not in the Ural Mountains. It is actually in Africa. I spent a lot of time today just exploring the whole map, looking for intel, looking around, and it's a pretty cool map. I really like it. I like the aesthetic of it. I like the difference that it brings to Outbreak. But here's the problem that I have with it, and it makes sense that this is the case, but there is nothing Easter egg related on this map as of yet. So there are no Maxis radios, there are no Ravenoff monkeys, and there is no projector to display your slides. So if you are trying to do one of the two main quests in Outbreak, you will not be able to progress any further on this map. You'll have to move to the next region and then continue the steps there. Now, this is fine because this map doesn't even take place in the Ural Mountains, but it does kind of present a little bit of a problem, in my opinion. If you speedrun it all, then this is just another element of RNG that you have to factor in whenever you're trying to do those speedruns. Now, the last topic here is not zombies related, but they did add the new double agent mode, which looked cool. I watched the preview for it. They definitely hyped it up, but it's not that great. It's not that fun. I tried it. Maybe you guys like it. Again, let me know if you've had some success playing this game or if you found it to be as big of a blunder as possible. As this is just another very apparent show that Treyarch is always late to the meme game. I mean, Among Us is dead. In one of the games I played, somebody literally said, "Wait, is this like the phone game where you have to find the imposter?" Like, that's how not popular this game mode is anymore. And just to reiterate how far back Treyarch is with the times, when they released Die Machina, they put the coffin dance into it. And the coffin dance has been gone, has been a dead meme for a long time by the time that came out. And I understand that that's how development works, but it really just feels like they're always a couple of steps behind when it comes to that stuff. So anyways, that's enough of the negativities. Let's go ahead and let's get into what is hot this season. And the first thing I want to look at is the grappling hook that they added into Outbreak. Like, just unbelievable. I mean, if you've ever played any of the Batman Arkham games or any of the Legend of Zelda games where you have a grappling hook, like, once you acquire that device, you just feel like you can go anywhere you want to go and you're completely unstoppable. And the same thing is true here in Outbreak. Once you have this grappling hook, you can zip across the map, and it's really nice that they've added another form factor for travel into Outbreak, because the maps tend to be so massive that that's what a lot of people who don't want to play casually, that's what they're complaining about. All the neckbeards on Reddit are hating on it because they have to walk 1,000 miles like Vanessa Carlton to get to the frickin' objective, when it's really not that big of a deal. But now you got the grappling hook, you can fly through the map. I don't know, I think it's really cool. You guys try it out and let me know what you think. Next up, we got a new Outbreak objective, which is the transport objective, and basically you go and you locate one of those super heavy duty trucks and you drive it to a location, absorb the raw essence that's in that area, area, go to another location, absorb that essence. While you're doing that, you defend the truck, make sure it doesn't get damaged, and then finally you take it to a rocket, just like in the retrieve objective, pick up the 2 canisters, drop them in the rocket. Pretty easy objective. Does take a little bit more time than maybe some other objectives, especially retrieve. You just get in a car and drive to the 2 spots and pick them up. It really feels like this probably should be what retrieve was, but anyways, we have some more variety, so now when we're playing Outbreak, we have something new that we can do. And this was technically last season, but the Casimir mechanism is absolutely fantastic. You can only hold one of them, and back when it was introduced in Mauer der Toten in the last season, it did cost 2,000 salvage, but they did go ahead and actually drop the price of it to 1,500 salvage. You can still only hold one. I think it'd be pretty broken if you could have more than one, but if you have Mule Kick upgraded, there's a chance that you could throw it and not consume it, so just keep that in mind. The next time you're going to exfil, pick one of these bad boys up and throw it on the ground. I used it during the Operation Excision boss fight on a speedrun that I did, and it took care of all of the zombies for me, like literally all of them, even some of the mimics. I think one of the manglers got sucked into it, but I can't say enough about this thing, and especially now that they've dropped the price on it, it feels just right at home, and if you guys haven't used it yet, give it a try. Next up, we have a brand new perk this season, and this is really shocking because we didn't get a new map this season. The map came out at the end of the last season, and so far they have only released new perks with new maps, which tells me that I think that they had another map planned for us to be released right now, and Mauer was supposed to come out earlier, but because of what's going on in the world, it's just been really hard for them to keep pace with what they normally do, so I think we're just kind of stuck with what we got for now. Regardless though, we got a new perk, and I wasn't so excited on it being a Black Ops 4 perk, but I mean, I think this thing is great. So initially, any enemies that are not visible in the overworld, they are outlined and you can see them through the walls. That's any and all enemies. And the first upgrade that you get for it, which I've seen some people give it some flack, Mr. Raffle Waffles in particular, I don't always agree with his opinion, but he's usually pretty level-headed. But the minimap update rate is increased. So that's the time that the blip goes over your minimap and it updates and you see where enemies are. And in my opinion, I've always felt like that blip is slow, especially when I'm walking around on Outbreak. I'm literally staring up at the top left of my screen waiting for it to flash by so I can see where the enemies are. And once I bought this perk and I saw how fast my minimap was updating, it was a whole new world. And that's just the first upgrade. We got 4 more to go through. So the next one is pretty lame. Gives enemy indicators when they're behind the player. So that kind of goes hand in hand with them being outlined. So whatever. But number 3, we gain 20% more looted salvage and high grade salvage. So 20% more across the board. So that's huge because in the late game, you're trying to get that final rarity upgrade. That's 1,000 rare salvage. That's a lot. And when you're trying to go for high rounds and you keep running out of self revives because you keep going down and you want to keep playing, those go up in cost every single time you go down. So the more rare salvage you have, the better off you're going to be. Upgrade number 4 is also fantastic. Increased armor penetration damage by 25%. So not only is this perk showing us where everything is, not only is this perk giving us more than we already have, but we are also doing more damage. This thing does 3 things in one. This is probably one of the best perks we've seen so far in Black Ops Cold War, and I wish that every perk that we had felt this way. So the last upgrade for this perk is pretty underwhelming. Nearby chests, resources, and item drops are keylined through the walls so you can see chests and things like that. I didn't really think that was all that big of a deal and not really worth the tier 5 upgrade because that's 5 flawless crystals that you need to max it out. But I did find out that when you're doing the ether crystal step to get the ether wrench upgrade in Outbreak, this thing highlights all of those things locations. I think that alone makes the tier 5 worth it. If it didn't do that, it'd be totally worthless in my opinion because you can hear chests and you can see items on the ground pretty clearly, but that's just my take on it. And last but not least, we received a new score streak, aka support item, in the form of the flamethrower, and this thing is literally hot. The flamethrower is probably the coolest thing that has ever been added into zombies, and I know it probably feels like I'm saying that a lot, but honestly, with the addition of causing tactical, lethal, and support items to scale with the rounds, the flamethrower is always a one-shot kill. Like, it literally uses 3 or 4 ammo if you hold the trigger down, and that's it for one zombie, and you get 100 rounds. I mean, you can literally whip this thing out and burn down a whole horde and still have at least half, if not more, of your ammo left. But anyways, that's it for me today. I just wanted to tell you guys what was good and what's not so far in Season 5, what you should be trying, what you should be using, and what you should probably be staying away from. If there's anything you guys agree with or disagree with, or if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.